Glad you're watching Newsfeed this third day of January 2023. A very good afternoon to you. I trust you are doing well. My name is Flora Limuki. We have a lot in line for you this afternoon, including the county government of Kajiado and the national government have been urged to consider providing counseling to herders in drought-stricken regions who are currently suffering from depression brought about by the death of their animals. This even as residents of Isiolo County call for help in averting an imminent disease outbreak due to lack of appropriate ways to dispose carcasses of livestock.
According to residents of Isiolo, carcasses of livestock that succumbed due to drought are littering the landscape around their areas of residence, causing discomfort, especially due to the foul stench, making the area unconducive to live in.
Hapa ilikuwa na ng'ombe zaidi ya 15,000 na leo imebaki tu kama ng'ombe 2,000 3,000.
Sasa kwa environment pia ikifika jioni hivi tunakuanga na harufu mbaya sana yenye inatoka upande zote nne juu tuna dispose hapa tu karibu.
Areas like Sericho and Modogashe in Garbatula sub-county have thousands of carcasses, posing a major health risk to inhabitants of such areas who are now calling upon the county and national governments as well as other non-governmental agencies to help them deal with the crisis.
Tembea kote hii county utaziona ile mzoga ambayo ziko hapa ambayo hata inaweza sababisha hali mbaya ya kiafya kwa wakazi. Swala la mzoga imekuwa ni kero na idara ya afya ya umma waweke mbinu ya kudispose mzuri.
The residents are also calling for formation of a government-sponsored livestock insurance scheme that will be anchored in law to cushion herders from undergoing massive losses every time drought strikes, rendering them helpless and relying on relief food aid. In Kajiado, local leaders are calling on both the county and national governments to start conducting counseling sessions for affected herders, saying most of them are suffering from depression due to loss of their livestock to drought and being unable to cater for their families.
Watu wengi wamekata tamaa na maisha. Wengine hata wanajinyonga. Wengine hata tunakuja tunachukua muda kila saa tunaongelea, tunamwongelesha, tunamwambia hii ni maisha, tutatafuta tu tena sababu anaangalia hana mbele wala nyuma. Boma yake zinasambaratika, wengine walikuwa na bibi wawili ama watano wanaanza kusambaratika kurudi makwao sababu sasa tegemeo ilikuwa ni hizo ng'ombe. So tungeomba serikali yetu iangazie sana na hata sana hii watu wazee ambao wamezeeka.
The ongoing drought situation is likely to become worse as the November and December rainy season fell short, a scenario that the Kenya Red Cross says could lead to an increase in the number of those likely to experience hunger due to the drought. Sylvia Nyongesa, TV47.
Leaders from Baringo County have condemned Sunday's Kerio Valley killings, which saw 2 girls lose their lives, terming it an act of cowardice. According to Tiati Member of Parliament William Kamket, security officers have identified the names of the killers and they are working with Nyumba Kumi elders and youth in the region to have the killers brought to book and stolen animals returned to the owner. Stanley Nyaringita now reports.
This is Kositoi area in Baringo County. Over 500 Pokot herders, elders, chiefs and area leaders have met here once again in a bid to find lasting solutions to lack of peace in the county and its environs. In the peace meeting, TRT Member of Parliament William Kamket has urged the Nyumba Kumi elders and the youth to work together to ensure the bandits who killed 2 girls from the same family in Elgeyo Marakwet on Sunday and stole over 70 herds of cattle are brought to book.
Na mtu asiwe attracted kwa vita ya wenyewe. Serikali pande hiyo ya Marakwet na pande ya Kerio watatatua hiyo shida na hiyo shida itaisha. Na watu wetu wa Marakwet tutaendelea kuishi nao kwa amani. Hawa vijana wawili ambao majina yao imeshapeanwa katika serikali tutadili nao sawa sawa.
The herders at the same time have agreed to join hands in thwarting the banditry attacks that have been rampant in at least 14 counties.
Wamekubali ya kwamba mkora yule anapatikana Wao wenyewe ndio wanapeana mkora kwa mikono yao, wamekubali kwa hapa wenyewe, mpaka wameunda wanakamati wenye watashughulika na kupeana majina.
Sisi tumesikizana. Ukiiba hata kuku ya wenyewe, unajibebea mzigo yako, unabeba kurudumu yako ya shida, unabeba basikeli yako ya shida, hatutakawa tena shida.
The peace meeting comes just a day after CS Interior Professor Kithure Kindiki called for redeployment of 300 National Police Reservists in Kerio and chiefs to be armed with support of 5 security officers.
I'm therefore directing the law enforcement officers. You must use your weapons to protect yourselves and to protect fellow citizens.
It has been a culture of herders and pocket rangers to graze at the borders of their neighbors during the dry season, and once it rains, they raid their neighbors and go away with their cattle. A move the leaders in the region are trying to avoid by identifying and have a record with the chiefs from the locality. Stanley Nyerengita, TV47.
And the vote scrutiny exercise in Busia gubernatorial petition is underway. The 10 out of 858 polling stations subjected to scrutiny include Bumuturu RC, Esiunga, Elugulu Primary, Bubango and Mahindi, among others. The process is being led by Deputy Court Registrar of Busia Court together with lawyers of both parties. This comes after Judge David Kemei of the Busia High Court drew out a petition for vote recount by former Nambale MP Sakwa Bunyasi in his petition challenging the election of Paul Otuoma as the governor. The process is expected to end on or before 7th of this month, and the results submitted in the court on 20th this month. In that election, Otuoma was declared the winner after garnering 164,798 votes against his opponent Sakwa, who got 92,144 votes. Family from Chasimba village, Kilifi South constituency of Kilifi County is seeking justice after their 42-year-old kin said to have died under unclear circumstances at Chasimba police station cell in Chonyi sub-county. Police reports say the deceased, Isaac Ngombolewa, died by suicide inside the police cells, but family feels there is foul play as they say he had injuries in the back of his body. Take a look.
Tears of sadness have become the order of the day here in Chasimba village in Kilifi South constituency after what started as a mere arrest in a case of attempted arson on December 31st that has now turned tragic following a death that reportedly occurred on January 2nd.
Naomba haki itendeke kwa familia na hawa watoto walioachwa mbele yetu hapa na umma ambayo wanasema wenyewe kwamba hawajaona huyu kijana ni mtundu katika eneo hili. Hiyo ni maumivu ya wazi na hatuyataka kuyasikia tena katika eneo hili.
The deceased wife, Paul Okeyo, says she visited the Chonyi police station to give her husband food only to find him dead. She says that the officers who were on duty laughed at her when she asked them to call him so that she could give him food.
Kuingia kwa seli nikimwangalia nikapata kwa mdomo kuna mapofu, macho amefungwa, hii mkono ilikuwa amekunja. So kwanza sikumfunga macho, nilianza kumuita baba Kesame ninamtingisha, lakini hakukuwa na response yoyote. Nikamwambia yule afisa, mzee wangu ni vipi? Mzee wangu amekufa? Akanambia hapana mama, mzee hajakufa, mzee anapumua. Mimi sasa nikawa nimepanic, ninalia. Ananiambia mama usilie, mzee wako ako sawa. Sasa mimi nikawa nina ile kufinya roho hivi na press huku kwa mdomo, ninafanya kama ninampea hewa. Ofisa ametoka, ameenda kuita OCS hiyo. Nikangangana hivyo, sioni response yoyote akifanya.
The family is now calling on all government bodies and human rights organizations to investigate and get to the bottom of the sad turn of events, as she had been left behind with 4 children, including one who was still breastfeeding and had no job. Human rights organizations led by Haki Africa and Pwani Social Justice also visited the family to try and get to find out exactly what transpired from the family before they visited the police station, terming the death so shocking for a person to commit suicide using an innerwear.
Police stations zetu haziko safe kwa jamii. Kwa hivyo tunasisitiza kwamba serikali ihakikishe imeingilia kati kuhakikisha kwamba kuna usalama katika hizi police station. Kwa sababu mtu akishikwa akipelekwa police station, sisi pale ni mahali unajua ambako iko safe, anangojea zile siku apelekwe mahakamani.
A police report seen by TV47, OB number 10, 2nd January 2023, revealed that Lewa committed suicide, and the sub-county criminal investigation officer in Kilifi North, OCS, and other officers had visited the cell and found the deceased body lying on the floor close to the door of the cells with his boxer nearby.
A middle-aged man in Kirinyaga County is said to have committed suicide after his mother refused to give him money to buy bang. Confirming the incident, Moya West OCPD Wilson Koskei decried an increase in the number of suicide cases in the area, stating that over 4 bodies have been collected in less than 4 days. Koskei has further urged area residents, especially the youth, to avoid drug and substance abuse.
Aliomba mama yake pesa aende kanunue msikota ya bangi na mama alikataa kumpatia. So katika hiyo hali alikuwa ameonekana akiwa mdhaifu sana na ulevi ulikuwa ndani yake. So katika hiyo hasira alienda kwa nyumba yake ambaye amepotesha, akalala. Asubuhi leo sasa walikuwa nafikiria labda ameenda tu kulala. Kumba jamaa alichukua kamba na akachenyonga. So mama yake kwenda kuangalia through the window kupatirisha chumba lake, basi akapata jamaa amejitia kitanzi. So process hiyo scene, tumechukua mwili wake tukapeleka Kibuki. Mahali tuko sasa ni mwili ya pili.
Hapa kwetu kuna kijana mmoja amekufa. Mtoto amekufa pale, amefrit na amepelekwa moja. Kuna uzuri sana, vijana wanaenda sana.
Bungoma County Woman Representative Catherine Ombilianga has called upon Treasury Cabinet Secretary Professor Njuguna Ndungu to release constituency development funds immediately so that stalled projects can be completed. Speaking in Webuye East constituency, Ombilianga said further delay in the release of the funds could also cost needy students who heavily rely on kitty to fund their studies. She has also urged CS to fast-track the release of affirmative action funds to benefit learners who only have 3 weeks to resume school. Her sentiments were reiterated by Webuye East Member of Parliament Martin Wanyonyi, who emphasized the importance of CDF.
He is a member of the Budget Committee. He'll give us a consensus answer. But for me, I know I am part of that committee. By the time tunakaa, nitaleta jibu kamili. Mheshimiwa hapa amekuwa akiniuliza mara kwa mara, hata jana juzi ananiuliza mheshimiwa, mambo yetu ya CDF namna gani? Nimemwambia bado hatuja prompt, lakini saa hizi tunapofika hapa hivi tusha prompt chairperson. Tayari ametuita, najua kufikia tarehe 6 tarehe 5 tutakuwa na jibu la kujibu.
As Kenya Kwanza, we promise not to leave any child behind kwa mambo ya masomo. Tulipromise kwamba we'll carry every child alongside our plan in ensuring that we implement a better plan in our education system. That's why tunakuomba waziri utoe pesa yote ya basari katika constituency zetu. Hatutaki kuona kwamba tunatoa pesa kidogo na tuweze kuacha watoto wengine kwenda shule.
Kwamba kuanzia tarehe 5 tutakuwa na ukaguzi mpya, revetting of the students, ili hizi hela zifae wanafunzi wanaotoka katika familia ambazo hazijiwezi. Ninajua kwamba ilitokea kuna baadhi ya watu walio na uwezo, walimu, maaskari, wakulima maarufu, wafanyabiashara, ndio watoto wao wananufaika. Kwa hivyo tunataka kufanya revetting, na ninaomba hili wanabungoma wakubaliane nami. Tutoe wale ambao wana uwezo, tubaki na wale ambao hawana uwezo. Hilo ndilo ombi langu.
Well, that story takes us on a short commercial break. We'll be back with more. Stay tuned.
2009, All Saints has strived to nurture confident, responsible, and ambitious young men into future leaders. Located on 20 acres in a serene and conducive environment, some 4 kilometers from Embu Town Center, it's a modest, cost-friendly education center. We are proud of our strong heritage of opening minds, unlocking talents, and building leaders. We prepare young men for a life dedicated to leadership, achievement, and service to the world. All Saints Senior Boys Academy. We make the difference.
Authentic, natural, planned. Transforming. Endless benefits. Slaty, purely Kenyan. Buy now on Jumia or Amazon.
Welcome back and thank you for keeping it TV 47. Moving on, it's all systems go in Elgeyo Marakwet for the country's senatorial by-election to be held on Thursday. Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission IEBC says it has dispatched all the election materials to the county's 4 constituencies. IEBC County Returning Officer Charles Mutai says security arrangements are also in place for the mini poll that will see 6 candidates face off at the ballot.
Commission, we are prepared. We've trained all the poll officials and they've been posted to respective polling stations. We are in the process of opening the ballot for the ballot papers which arrived 2 days ago. At the moment, everything is on course. All the materials have been dispersed to the respective constituencies, the 4 constituencies. And we are only expecting to receive security officers who will be manning the polling stations in all the constituencies. So most probably in the next 2 hours, we should be able to release maybe the first batch of poll officials to their constituencies.
Remember, you can trust TV 47 to keep you up to speed on all that will be happening tomorrow for the by-elections that are being held in the 4 constituencies. Moving on, a family in Emuhaya, Vihiga County is seeking justice after a 51-year-old man was found murdered and his body dumped at his house with the head missing. Emuhaya Member of Parliament Omboko Milemba has condemned the incident, further urging Interior CS Kithuri Kindiki to ensure security is beefed up in the area to avert such incidents. The body of the deceased is lying at the Coptic Maseno morgue.
Nikakuta kichwa hakuna, nikasema mtu ambaye anashika kichwa hakuna, wani wananifanya namna gani? Nikaanza kulia, sina mbele wala nyuma. Naomba serikali mnisaidie nipate kichwa ya mtoto wangu, ndio maombi yangu.
Kwenda kuangalia ndani hivi, nilipata ndugu yangu amekauka, kichwa iko. Ndipo nilitafuta jirani, akanisaidia simu, nikapigia mama yangu. Ndio mama nikamwambia kuja na familia yote, ndugu yetu amefanya nini? Amepotea. Si kuona wakikuja. Mimi mwenyewe tena nikarudi ng'ambo kwenda kuwachukua sasa.
Sisi kama security, hii ni jambo tutafuata mpaka mwisho yake.
Kwa hivyo tushirikiane, tupashane habari na maofu kama haya isiwahi tokea Ipali na Mkola ama mahali popote. Tumekuwa watu ambao ni wapenda amani.
The Minister for Internal Security must deal with this issue. That again, like they attacked us 3 years ago, and were killing people and taking away the blood there back. And he has to put in his hand and even visit this place so that never again shall we have this experience. Number one, he must make sure he brings enough police officers in all our areas. And number two, he must equip our policemen with vehicles and other tools of work so that they may be able to give security to our people.
Tension is building up at Kahawa Sukari area, Kiambu County, after small-scale traders woke up to find their business structures flattened by bulldozers. And as Collins Tulisweti reports, the traders want action taken against a private developer said to be behind the demolitions.
The demolition comes in the wake of a long dispute over the ownership of a prime half-acre parcel of land off the Thika Superhighway. Traders in the area now pointing an accusing finger at a local developer for carrying out the demolition without issuing any notice or having a court order in effect.
Kimetushangaza kwa sababu hii si ubinadamu, hii ni unyama. Wangekuwa na ubinadamu, wangekuja watupee notice, tutoe vitu zetu zenye tunaona ni za maana. Wakipata tumepewa notice na tujafanya kitu yote, hiyo sasa wangechukua hatua ya kukuja kubomoa.
Among the destroyed structures is a public toilet belonging to the county government of Kiambu, with locals saying the toilet sits in a land not contested, questioning the motive behind the demolition.
Hapa kwa choo walikuja wakabakisha hivyo. Huko ilikuwa na mvutano, lakini ikifika hapa kwa choo hakukuwa na mvutano yoyote.
The traders say they have incurred cumulative losses running into millions of shillings, calling on the county government of Kiambu to intervene.
This is a public land and it's a public property, and it should be utilized by the people and the residents of Kiambu County.
Samuel Mwaniki, the chairman of Kahawa Sukari Residents and Plot Owners Association, says he received a call at 1:30 a.m. when the demolition squad struck and proceeded to the site, only to find all the structures flattened, terming the move as criminal, saying the demolished toilet was the only such facility in the busy and densely populated area and leaves members of the public highly inconvenienced.
This one is criminal because they are interfering with the public property. Number one, this toilet was constructed by the county government in 2011 and it has always been used by the public.
Area member of